example. You know, I often say I was in a church in South Africa some years ago, and this young man came up to me to challenge me, and he said, well, you creationists, you know, you talk about operational science, but you ignore examples of it. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, fossils. We know that fossils take millions of years to slowly form, per mineralization, you know, where the organic material is turned to stone. And I say, really? So I show him this picture here. You can see what's neat about this? Have a look. There's the baby coming out of the birth canal.
Wow.
This is an ichthyosaur, an extinct marine reptile. Now, I don't think that marine reptile was in the process of giving birth for millions of years. Do you?
So no, I would hope not.
Intuitively, when you see that, you can see that something catastrophic and rapid happened to it. Yet, I'm going to show you, this is a picture from my grade 11 biological science textbooks in Australia. Now, you've got these pictures at elementary age here in the States. And here's, you know, kind of the old Freddy fish swimming along, and he dies, and he sinks to the ocean floor. Now, that's what I was taught to believe. But they're saying, while this fish is lying on the ocean floor, have a look at these high mountains. Uniformitarianism. Little bit of sediment, little bit of water gradually washes out, permineralizes the fish, and then the process starts again. And that's how we get that geologic column that's supposed to be a record of evolutionary development, you know, over millions and millions of years.
So that fish is just going to stay there, and all the natural processes that we always see today, like decay and even microscopic organisms,
Crabs.
bacteria, all that, somehow they're all going to just leave, you know, all these creatures alone, because we have millions of fossils, right?
Exactly. So look, how do you get a fossil like that using that process?
It's just not possible.
Not realistic. So I often show people, so here's our fish swimming along, and what you need to get a fossil like that is lots of mud, lots of water in a short amount of time. You can bury the fish quickly in those layers, and before long you can get a rapid fossil. And you know, I've been challenged, well, yes, Gary, we understand sediments can form quickly, but the process of permineralization is slow, and that's what takes millions of years. But it isn't. Here's one we featured in all, you know, out of our Creation magazine. This is a fossilized hat. It was actually a soft felt hat buried in a volcanic explosion, a miner's hat in New Zealand. And 20 years after the initial eruption, they found this hat along with other artifacts in the cabin, turned to stone. Right? I suppose you could say it evolved into a hard hat or something.
So just to help our audience, fossilization then is an organism, a living organism, or even a hat, totally being replaced, right? Its parts with minerals.
Yeah, or you can get a footprint that's embedded and preserved. It's a record of anything that existed in the past, basically, whether it was living or otherwise. And all you need to get a fossil like this in a short amount of time is the right set of conditions, the right cementing conditions to give you a fossil. They don't take millions of years. So let me show you another example. This is one here. A family walking along a beach in Australia, and they said they saw this rock that was a little different to the others around, and they turned it over and got a surprise because inside is a toy car. So fossils can form quickly under the right conditions. Rocks can form quickly under the right conditions. But here's the kicker. The rock layers and the fossils in them is presented to us as evidence, in inverted commas, for millions of years of evolution on the Earth. Were we there to see those rock layers lay down? All those fossils form? No. So how do we know they took long periods of time, particularly if we know they can form quickly today?